After my brother's death, his new wife produces a will, leaving everything to her, but the signature doesn't match his handwriting. My brother died just 3 months after marrying her. Now she claims he left her everything, but his signature, it was all wrong. Hello, my name is Joanna Ridgeway. I'm 63 years old, and I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I didn't think grief could taste like betrayal until I read that will. Growing up, it was always just me and my younger brother, Daniel. After our parents passed, he was all I had left. So when he brought her home, the new wife, I wanted to trust his choice. She seemed polite, charming, too polished maybe, but I stayed out of it. Daniel died suddenly, a fall down the stairs, they said. The funeral came and went, and days later, she handed me a sealed envelope. It was Daniel's updated will, and in it, every single thing, our childhood home, his savings, the lake house we inherited from our parents, was left to her. Something was wrong, and I was going to find out what she did. If this story resonated with your soul, hit the subscribe button and let me know where you're watching from in the comments. What country are you listening from? The funeral home smells of lilies and wax, a cloying mix that sticks in my throat. I stand by Daniel's casket, my hands clasp so tightly, my knuckles ache. He's gone. My little brother, the one who'd sneak into my room during thunderstorms, who'd laugh too loud at my bad jokes. 3 months after marrying Clarissa, he fell down the stairs. An accident, they said. But grief has a way of sharpening your senses, and something about this feels wrong. Clarissa plays her part well. She's draped in black, her blonde hair pinned neatly, her eyes glistening just enough to look sincere. She dabs them with a tissue, the gesture precise, like she's practiced in a mirror. "Joanna," she says, her voice soft as she takes my hand. "I'm so sorry. He loved you so much." Her fingers are cold, her grip too firm, and I notice how she watches me, like she's waiting for a reaction. "Thank you," I manage, pulling my hand back. The room is full of neighbors, old friends, Daniel's co-workers, all murmuring condolences. I nod, smile, say the right things, but my eyes keep drifting to Clarissa. She moves through the crowd, accepting hugs, her sobs delicate, perfectly timed, not too much, not too little. That's what catches me, her control. Daniel was messy, open, his emotions spilling everywhere. She's the opposite, polished to a fault. At the reception, she corners me by the coffee urn, her perfume sharp. "He'd want us to stay close," she says, her smile small but deliberate. "We're family now." I nod, my throat tight. Family. Daniel and I were family, orphaned young, leaning on each other through every loss, every fight. Clarissa, she's a stranger who swept into his life a year ago, all charm and promises. I wanted to trust her for his sake, but her shine always felt too bright, like a coin you know is counterfeit. A week later, I'm summoned to the lawyer's office, a cramped room with too many bookshelves. Mr. Grayson, an older man with a tired face, greets me warmly, but his eyes flicker when Clarissa walks in. She's still in black, though it's tailored now, accentuating her slim frame. She sits across from me, her posture perfect, and slides an envelope onto the desk. "Daniel's updated will," she says, her voice smooth. "He wanted everything settled quickly." I freeze, my heart thudding. "Updated?" He never mentioned changes. Grayson clears his throat, opening the envelope. "This was filed 2 months ago," he says, adjusting his glasses. "It leaves all assets, his savings, the lake house, your childhood home, to Clarissa." The words hit like a slap. The lake house, where we scattered our parents' ashes. The home we grew up in, where Daniel carved his initials into the staircase. All of it, hers? I stare at the document, my eyes catching the signature at the bottom. Daniel's name, but wrong. Too sharp, too rigid. Not the loopy scrawl I know. "He would have told me," I say, my voice sharper than I mean. "Changes this big, he'd have called." Clarissa's smile doesn't waver, but her eyes narrow, just a fraction. "He didn't owe you that, Joanna. He was my husband." The word stings. Husband. 3 months of marriage, and she's claiming him like she knew him better than I did. I snatch the copy of the will from Grayson's desk, ignoring his stammered protest. "I need to look at this," I say, standing. Clarissa's gaze follows me, cool and unblinking, as I leave. At home, I spread the will on my dining table, the paper glaring under the lamplight. My hands shake as I pull out an old birthday card from Daniel, sent just 4 months ago. To Joe, my favorite pain in the neck. Love, Dan. His signature is there, sprawling, the D curling like a wave. I hold it next to the will. The difference is stark. The will's signature is tight, angular, like someone tried too hard to mimic him. My stomach twists. This isn't his hand. This isn't him. I pace the kitchen, memories flooding in. Daniel, laughing at the lake house, promising we'd fix the dock together. Daniel, calling me after his engagement, saying, "She's good for me, Joe. You'll see." But I saw her polish, her careful words, the way she'd steer him away from me at dinners. And now this, a will that steals everything we shared, signed by a stranger's hand. Sleep doesn't come. I sit up, the card and will, side by side, my mind racing. If the signature's fake, what else is? His fall, so sudden, so convenient. The way Clarissa cried, just right. I think of her grip at the funeral, her smugness at the lawyer's office. My brother's death doesn't feel like an accident anymore. The next morning, I call a friend from church, Ellen, who knows a handwriting analyst through her nephew's law firm. "It's probably nothing," I lie, my voice unsteady. "Just need a second opinion." Ellen doesn't pry, thank God. She gives me the number, and by noon, I'm in a cluttered office across town, facing a woman named Dr. Patel. She's brisk, her glasses slipping down her nose as she examines the documents. I sit, my hands twisting in my lap, watching her compare the card and the will under a magnifying glass. She looks up, her expression grim. "This isn't the same person," she says, tapping the will. "The pressure, the angles, they're off. Whoever signed this forged it." The word, forged, lands like a stone. I nod, my throat too tight to speak. Dr. Patel slides the documents back, her voice softening. "Be careful, Mrs. Ridgeway. If this is deliberate, it's serious." I leave her office, the will burning a hole in my purse. Serious. Deliberate. My brother's gone, his legacy stolen, and Clarissa's at the center of it. But why? The lake house is valuable, sure, but Daniel's savings weren't vast. What's she after? And his fall? Did she have a hand in that too? I drive home, my mind a storm of questions. Clarissa's face flashes before me, her perfect tears, her cold smile. I think of Daniel, trusting her, marrying her, never suspecting. I think of the stairs, the coroner's report I haven't read yet. My grief, once heavy, sharpens into something else. Resolve. I'm not letting her take him from me, not like this. That night, I sit at my desk, the will and card in front of me. I trace Daniel's real signature, my finger lingering on the loops. "I'll fix this," I whisper, like he can hear me. "I'll find out what she did." But as I lock the documents away, a chill settles in. Clarissa's not just a widow. She's a player in a game I don't yet understand. And if she forged the will, what else is she hiding? I check the doors, the windows, my pulse racing. This isn't just about money or houses. It's about my brother's life and what really happened the night he died. Have you ever trusted someone, only to realize too late they were wearing a mask? Drop a heart if you're still watching, and tell me if you've ever felt deceived like this. The forged will sits locked in my desk, a silent accusation, but it's not enough. Dr. Patel's words, "Be careful, Mrs. Ridgeway," echo as I drive to Daniel's house, my hands gripping the wheel. Clarissa's already claiming it, the home where we grew up, where Daniel's initials are still carved into the staircase. My brother's been gone 3 weeks, and she's erasing him. I need to see the place, to find something, anything, that proves what she's done. His death, the will, the way she's slipped into his life like she belongs. It's all wrong, and I'm not letting her win. The Cleveland sky's gray, heavy with November chill. As I pull into the driveway, the house looks tired, its white paint peeling, the porch sagging. Clarissa's car is here, a sleek black thing that doesn't fit the cracked pavement. I knock, my heart thudding, and she opens the door, her blonde hair loose, her smile tight. "Joanna," she says, like my name tastes bad. "Didn't expect you." "I needed to see the place," I say, keeping my voice steady, "before it's gone." Her eyes narrow, but she steps aside. "Fine, don't touch anything." Inside, the air smells of cardboard and dust. Boxes line the living room, labeled in her neat handwriting. Books, clothes, misc. Daniel's life, packed away like it means nothing. She's wearing jeans and a sweater, casual but calculated. Her nails painted a deep red. "I'm donating most of it," she says, folding her arms. "He'd have wanted that." I nod, swallowing the urge to snap. Daniel was sentimental, hoarding old records and dog-eared novels. He'd never let her gut the house like this. I wander toward the study, my boots loud on the hardwood. "Just need a minute," I say, not waiting for permission. "Joanna," she calls, her tone sharp. "Don't go digging. It's sad, you snooping like this." I pause, my hand on the study door. "Sad's losing my brother," I say, meeting her gaze. "Where's his journal? He kept it in here, always." She shrugs, but her jaw tightens. "He probably tossed it. Not everything's a conspiracy." Her words are too quick, too practiced. I step into the study, my chest tight. The room's a mess. Bookshelves half empty, papers strewn across the desk. The drawer where Daniel kept his journal, a leather-bound thing he'd written in since college, is ajar. I pull it open, my fingers trembling. Empty. My heart sinks. He never threw anything out, especially not that. Clarissa's at the door now, watching me. "Told you," she says, her voice smug. "Let it go, Joanna." I leave, her stare burning into my back. But I'm not done, not by a long shot. In my car, I grip the steering wheel, my mind racing. The missing journal, the forged will, her rush to clear out the house. It's all connected. Daniel's fall wasn't an accident, and Clarissa's not working alone. That lawyer, Grayson, with his flickering eyes, he's part of this, I'm sure. But I need proof, something solid to tie her to more than a bad signature. At home, I pace my living room, the forged will and birthday card haunting me. Daniel was careful, always leaving traces of himself, notes, sketches, voice memos. Then it hits me, his phone. He used that voice assistant, obsessively, recording random thoughts, grocery lists, even song ideas. If he suspected Clarissa, he might have said something. I dig through my closet, finding a box of his things I'd stored after he moved in with her. His old phone's there, a cracked iPhone he hadn't upgraded. My hands shake as I plug it in, praying it still works. The screen flickers to life. I try his old password, our parents' anniversary, 0427. It unlocks and my breath catches. I scroll through apps, landing on the voice recorder, dozens of files, dated months back. I tap the most recent, from 2 weeks before his death. Daniel's voice fills the room, warm but strained, and my eyes sting. October 12th, he says, his words clipped. "If anything happens to me, check Clarissa. She's been pushing me to change the will. Keeps saying it's for us, but I don't trust her anymore. She's different lately, secretive. And Grayson, he's too eager to help her. Something's off." The recording ends, and I sit frozen, my heart pounding. Daniel knew. He saw her for what she was, and he tried to warn someone. Me, maybe, or himself. I play it again, his voice cracking on secretive, and anger surges through me. She didn't just forge a will, she planned this, and Grayson's in on it. But what did they do to him? A fall down the stairs doesn't just happen. Not to Daniel, who knew every creak in that house. I saved the file, backing it up to my laptop, my hands still shaking. This is proof, real proof, that Clarissa's a liar, that Daniel's death was no accident. But it's not enough to nail her, not yet. I need the journal, or something tying her to the fall. And Grayson, His role in this is clearer now. Did he draft the fake will? Did he help her cover up something worse? I call Ellen, my friend from church, my voice low. I need a favor, I say. Can you ask your nephew about Grayson? Discreetly. I think he's mixed up in something bad. Ellen hesitates, then agrees. Joanna, you sound scared. What's going on? I'll tell you soon, I promise, dodging. Just be careful what you say. She agrees, and I hang up, my mind spinning. Clarissa's moving fast, packing the house, probably destroying evidence. The journal's gone, but Daniel was meticulous. If he hid something, it's in that house, or somewhere she hasn't thought to look. I think of the lake house, untouched since his death. Maybe he left a clue there, something she missed. That night, I lie awake, the recording looping in my head. If anything happens to me, check Clarissa. His voice is a lifeline, pulling me through the grief, the doubt. I picture her smug smile, her red nails, the way she dismissed the journal. She thinks she's won, that I'm just a grieving sister grasping at shadows. But I'm not. I'm Joanna Ridgeway, and I've lost too much to let her take everything. I check the locks, my pulse racing. Clarissa's not just a thief, she's dangerous. And if she pushed Daniel down those stairs, if she planned his death for a house and some money, she won't stop at me. I need to move fast to find the journal or whatever else she's hiding. But as I drift into uneasy sleep, one question burns. Who else is helping her? Grayson's part of it, but is there more? And what did they do to my brother that night when the stairs betrayed him? The voice recording on Daniel's phone loops in my mind, his words a haunting anchor. If anything happens to me, check Clarissa. I clutch the device, my knuckles white as I sit in my dimly lit living room. The forged will, the missing journal, and now this. Proof my brother suspected her before his fatal fall. Clarissa's not just a thief, she's a predator. And Grayson, that smug lawyer, is likely her accomplice. But suspicion isn't enough. I need more, something to unravel her carefully spun web. The lake house beckons, a possible hiding place for Daniel's journal. But first, I need to know who Clarissa really is. I start with her past, something I should have done months ago. My laptop hums as I search her name, Clarissa Vaughn, my fingers hesitant but driven. The results are sparse at first. Social media profiles, polished headshots, her engagement announcement to Daniel. But then, buried in a forum post from 3 years ago, I find a thread that stops my breath. A woman named Maureen Keller accuses Clarissa of manipulating her brother, Thomas Keller, who died in a freak accident after marrying her. The details are vague. A car crash, a dismissed investigation. But Maureen's words burn. She's a liar. She made us look crazy. My heart races. Another husband, another accident. I dig deeper, finding an obituary for Thomas, dead at 42. Survived by his wife Clarissa and sister Maureen. No mention of foul play, but Maureen's post hints at a pattern. I search for her, my hands shaking. She's in Akron, an hour's drive. I find a phone number linked to a small business, a bakery, and dial before I can second-guess myself. Hello? A woman's voice, wary but warm. Maureen Keller, I ask, my throat tight. My name's Joanna Ridgeway. I'm calling about Clarissa Vaughn. Silence, then a sharp intake of breath. What did she do to you? My brother, I say, my voice cracking. He married her. 3 months later, he's dead. A fall. And now she's got a will that's not his. Another pause. Meet me, she says. Tomorrow, my shop. We need to talk. The drive to Akron is a blur. My mind tangled with Daniel's voice and Maureen's warning. Her bakery is small, smelling of cinnamon and yeast, with a few customers at wooden tables. Maureen's in her 50s, her dark hair streaked with gray, her eyes sharp but tired. She leads me to a back office, closing the door. You're not crazy, she says, before I can speak. She's good at making you feel like you are. I nod, my chest loosening. Daniel, my brother, he recorded a memo, said he didn't trust her. The will she gave the lawyers a forgery, and his journal's gone. Maureen's jaw tightens. Same playbook. Thomas was my big brother. Married her after 6 months. Next thing, he's dead. Car brakes failed. She got his insurance, his house, everything. I screamed murder, but the police found nothing. No evidence, no case. I leaned forward, my hands clasped. Did she forge anything? A will, maybe. She didn't need to, Maureen says, her voice bitter. Thomas hadn't updated his will, so it all went to her as his wife. But I found emails, her and some lawyer, planning things. I couldn't prove it though. She's slippery. Grayson, I say. The name's sour. Her lawyer now. He's in on it. Maureen's eyes narrow. You've got more than I did. That recording, it's something. But you need hard proof. Something they can't dismiss. I don't just want her arrested, I say, my voice low. I want her exposed. For Daniel, for Thomas, for anyone else she's hurt. Maureen studies me, then nods. Then we work together. I've got contacts, people who looked into her for me, a private investigator, a retired cop. They didn't find enough last time, but with your recording, we might. I exhale, relief mixing with dread. What's next? She's careful, Maureen says, leaning back, but she's arrogant, thinks no one's onto her. Check that lake house you mentioned. If Daniel hid something, it's there, and I'll dig into Grayson, see what he's hiding. I leave the bakery, Maureen's number saved in my phone, her words a lifeline. You're not crazy. For the first time since the funeral, I feel seen, understood, but the weight of what's ahead presses down. Clarissa's done this before, walked away clean. If she killed Daniel, and I'm sure now she did, she's not stopping at a forged will. I'm a threat, and she knows it. That night, I lie awake, Daniel's recording playing in my head. She's been pushing me to change the will. His voice is a call to action, urging me forward. I think of Maureen, her grief mirroring mine, her fight unfinished. Together we're stronger. But Clarissa's dangerous, arrogant, yes, but cunning. And Grayson, he's not just a lawyer, he's her partner, maybe more. I check my locks, my pulse quick. The lake house is my next move. Daniel loved it, spent weekends there alone. If his journal's anywhere, it's hidden in those walls. But what else might I find? Proof of her crime, or something worse? And if Clarissa suspects I'm digging, what's her next play? As I drift into uneasy sleep, Maureen's words anchor me. She's good at making you look crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm Joanna Ridgeway, and I'm coming for the truth. No matter how sharp Clarissa's claws, Maureen's words linger as I drive home from Akron, her resolve fueling mine. She's good at making you look crazy, but I'm not crazy, and neither is she. Daniel's voice recording, accusing Clarissa of pushing for a new will, burns in my pocket, a digital ghost urging me forward. Maureen's digging into Grayson, her contacts scouring his past. But the lake house calls to me. Daniel's journal, his real will. Something's there, hidden where Clarissa hasn't looked. Yet the risk of confronting her head-on looms large. She's slipped through justice before, and with Grayson's help, she's untouchable unless I'm smarter. I need to rattle her, make her slip. At home, I sit at my kitchen table, the forged will and Daniel's birthday card spread out like a map of her lies. Maureen's plan to check Grayson is solid, but I can't wait. Clarissa's moving fast, packing Daniel's house, erasing his life. If she suspects I'm onto her, she'll destroy whatever's left, maybe even come for me. I need her off balance, desperate enough to make a mistake. An idea forms, risky but sharp, a trap, baited with her own greed. I buy a cheap burner phone from a gas station, my hands steady despite the adrenaline. Back home, I craft a text, short and cutting. There's a copy of Daniel's old will. You'll lose everything. I send it to Clarissa's number, my heart pounding, then turn off the phone and hide it in a drawer. If she takes the bait, she'll scramble, and I'll be watching. The next morning, I park down the street from her house. Daniel's house. My old sedan, blending with the neighborhood's faded cars. I slouch low, a baseball cap pulled over my eyes, feeling absurd but driven. Clarissa's car is in the driveway, her silhouette moving behind the curtains. My phone buzzes. Ellen, checking in. "Anything from your nephew about Grayson?" I whisper. "He's digging," she says. "Grayson's got a history. Shady clients, hushed settlements. Be careful, Joanna." I nod, though she can't see me, and hang up. Minutes later, Clarissa bursts out, her purse slung over her shoulder, her face tight. She climbs into her car and peels out, faster than I've ever seen her move. I follow, keeping my distance, my pulse racing. She's rattled, just as I hoped. The text worked. She drives across Cleveland, weaving through traffic, her black car glinting under the gray sky. I trail her to a storage facility on the city's edge, a squat building ringed by a chain-link fence. My heart leaps. She's hiding something. I park across the street, watching as she punches a code into the gate and disappears inside. I wait, my hands gripping the wheel, then slip out, my sneakers quiet on the pavement. The gate's still open, her haste, my advantage. Inside, the facility smells of dust and metal, rows of orange lockers stretching into the gloom. I hear her heels clicking, then a lock turning. I creep closer, staying low, my phone ready. She's at a locker, number 47, her back to me as she pulls out a box. My breath catches, she's muttering, her voice sharp with panic. "Stupid, stupid," she hisses, rifling through papers. I edge nearer, hiding behind a stack of crates, and raise my phone, snapping photos through a gap. The locker's open, and I see it. Daniel's journal, its leather cover unmistakable, next to a manila folder labeled Handwriting Practice. My heart stops. There's more, a document, crisp and white, with Daniel's loopy signature, the real one, his original will. She's kept it all, her arrogance, her undoing. Clarissa shoves the box back, slamming the locker, and I duck as she turns. Her phone rings, and she answers, her voice low. "Grayson, it's fine," she snaps. "Someone's bluffing about the old will. I've got it handled." She pauses, then, "No, the journal's safe. He wrote too much, but no one's finding it." My blood boils. She's admitting it, her and Grayson, plotting together. I snap another photo, her face clear, the locker in view. She hangs up, her heels clicking, as she storms out, oblivious to me. I wait, my heart pounding, until her car engine fades. Then I approach the locker, my fingers brushing the lock. I can't open it, but I don't need to. The photos are enough. Daniel's journal, his real will, her handwriting practice, it's all here. Proof she forged the will, proof she planned to steal everything. I slip back to my car, my hands shaking as I check the photos. They're clear, damning. I text Maureen from the burner. "Found it. Journal, real will, evidence. Storage locker 47, West Side facility." She replies instantly, "Stay safe. Meet me tomorrow. We're ending this." Driving home, my mind races. Clarissa's panic, her call to Grayson. It's all falling apart for her. But she's dangerous, cornered now. If she suspects I'm behind the text, she'll come for me, just like she did Daniel. I think of his recording, his voice trembling. I don't trust her anymore. He knew, and it cost him his life. I won't let it cost mine. At home, I lock the doors, double-checking the windows. The photos are backed up on my laptop. Copies sent to Maureen and Ellen, just in case. I sit with Daniel's phone, playing the recording again. His words a promise I'm keeping. Check Clarissa. I'm checking. Dan. I'm so close. But questions gnaw at me. Why keep the journal? Was it leverage or sentiment? And the handwriting practice? How long did she study his signature, plotting while he slept beside her? Grayson's role looms larger. Her partner, maybe her lover, covering her tracks. I think of Maureen's brother, Thomas, dead in a car crash, and wonder how many others Clarissa's hurt, how many lives she's stolen. Sleep eludes me, my mind buzzing with the storage locker's contents. Tomorrow, Maureen and I will plan our next move. Maybe the police, maybe a lawyer who isn't Grayson. But Clarissa's not done. She's arrogant, yes, but cunning, and I've just poked a snake. As I lie in the dark, Daniel's voice echoes, and I grip the burner phone, my lifeline to her downfall. She thinks she's won, but I've got her secrets now, and I'm not letting go. The photos from the storage locker burn in my mind, each one a piece of Clarissa's unraveling lies. Daniel's journal, his real will, the folder marked handwriting practice. I clutch the burner phone, my heart racing, as I lock the images away in my safe, alongside Daniel's recorded warning. If anything happens to me, check Clarissa. Maureen's text, "We're ending this," is a promise. But Clarissa's still out there, arrogant and dangerous. She's cornered now, and I know she'll strike back if she senses me closing in. I need to move fast to make her secrets public before she can spin another story. Maureen meets me at a diner the next morning, her eyes sharp over a cup of black coffee. "The photos are gold," she says, her voice low. "Journal, will, that folder, it's enough for fraud, maybe more, but we need to hit her where it hurts, her reputation." I nod, my hands steady, despite the fear gnawing at me. "She's done this before, your brother, maybe others. If we go to the police, she might slip through again." Maureen leans forward, her jaw tight. Then we go loud. "Make it so everyone knows what she is. I know a podcast, Family Secrets Exposed. They cover betrayal, fraud, real stories. They've got a big audience. You tell them everything. Daniel's recording, the forged will, the locker. Let the world hear it." I hesitate, the weight of going public sinking in. But Clarissa's face flashes, her smug smile, her red nails, her dismissal of Daniel's journal. She thinks I'm nothing, a grieving sister she can outsmart. "Let's do it," I say, my voice firm. "For Daniel, for Thomas." That afternoon, I call the podcast from my burner phone, my pulse racing. The host, a woman named Tara, with a warm but no-nonsense voice, listens as I outline the story. Daniel's sudden death, the forged will, the recording, the storage locker. "This is big," she says. "Can you come in tomorrow? Bring everything." The recording studio is small, tucked in a Cleveland strip mall, its walls lined with foam panels. Tara greets me, her handshake firm, her eyes kind but probing. Maureen's there, her presence grounding me as I sit at the mic, Daniel's phone and the printed photos in front of me. "Just tell your story," Tara says. "We'll handle the rest." I take a breath, my voice shaky at first. My brother Daniel died 3 months after marrying Clarissa Vaughn. She produced a will, leaving her everything. Our childhood home, his savings, our parents' lake house. But the signature wasn't his. I describe the funeral, Clarissa's perfect tears, the handwriting analyst's verdict, the missing journal. Then I play the recording, Daniel's voice filling the room. "She's been pushing me to change the will. I don't trust her anymore." My eyes sting, but I keep going, detailing the storage locker, the photos, Maureen's parallel story about her brother Thomas. Tara's eyes widen as I finish. "This is explosive," she says. "We're rushing this episode out. You okay with the blowback?" "I want her exposed," I say, echoing my words to Maureen. "No more shadows for her to hide in." The episode drops 3 days later, titled "The Widow's Will, A Tale of Betrayal." I listen alone, my heart pounding as my voice, Daniel's recording, and Maureen's testimony weave together. Tara's narration is sharp, calling Clarissa a master manipulator, and Grayson her shady enabler. By evening, my phone buzzes with texts from Ellen and neighbors. "Joanna, it's everywhere." I check online, and the episode's gone viral, shared across social media, forums, even local news picking it up. Comments flood in. "She's a black widow. Justice for Daniel. Check the lawyer too." Public pressure builds like a storm. Strangers tweet about Clarissa's past, digging up old articles about Thomas's death. Maureen's story gains traction. Her accusations no longer dismissed, By the next day, Grayson's law firm issues a statement distancing itself, but it's too late. Online sleuths uncover his history, shady real estate deals, clients with suspicious deaths. A petition to investigate him circulates, and within a week, the state bar announces his disbarment pending a full probe. Clarissa's world crumbles faster. The podcast's reach exposes her to scrutiny she can't escape. Customers, from her freelance consulting gigs, her polished side hustle, drop her, citing ethical concerns. A local reporter stakes out her house, catching her on camera, her face pale, her hair uncharacteristically messy. Then, 5 days after the episode airs, Maureen calls, her voice triumphant. Turn on the news. I flip to a Cleveland station, my breath catching. Clarissa's in handcuffs, her head bowed as police lead her to a car. The anchor's voice cuts through. Clarissa Vaughn, 38, arrested on charges of fraud and forgery related to a falsified will. Authorities are also investigating her late husband's death as a possible homicide. Prompted by new evidence and public outcry, I sink onto my couch, relief crashing over me. Fraud's a start, but murder, they're looking at Daniel's fall, maybe Thomas's crash. The photos, the recording, the podcast, they've forced the truth into the open. Clarissa's not slipping away this time. Maureen meets me for coffee the next day, her smile fierce. You did it, Joanna, she says, squeezing my hand. For both our brothers. We did it, I correct, my voice thick. She thought we were nothing, but as I drive home, the victory feels bittersweet. Daniel's gone, his laugh silenced, his trust betrayed. I think of the lake house, where we'll never fix the dock together. The podcast gave me justice, but not him. At home, I pull out his birthday card, tracing his loopy signature. We got her, Dan. I whisper, my eyes wet. You were right about her. Clarissa's arrest is just the beginning. Trials, investigations, maybe more victims surfacing. Grayson's fall is a bonus. His disbarment a warning to others like him. But for me, it's about Daniel, about honoring his warning, his life. I'm not done fighting, not until every piece of her lies is exposed. And as the world watches, I know I'm not just a grieving sister anymore. I'm Joanna Ridgeway, and I've made the truth louder than her deceit. Should people like this ever get a second chance? Or should jail be too generous? Tell me in the comments what justice really looks like to you. The news of Clarissa's arrest still hums through Cleveland. Her handcuffed image, a stark contrast to the polished widow I met at Daniel's funeral. The podcast's viral reach, spurred by Daniel's haunting recording and the storage locker photos, has shifted everything. Grayson's disbarment is a fresh wound for him. His shady past now public, while public pressure keeps the police digging into Daniel's fall. And maybe Thomas's crash too. Maureen's voice, fierce with triumph, echoes in my mind. You did it, Joanna, for both our brothers. But as I sit with Daniel's birthday card, tracing his loopy signature, the victory feels heavy. Justice is coming, but Daniel's gone, and no arrest can bring him back. I fought for his truth, and I'm not done yet. The courtroom is smaller than I expected. Its wood paneling worn, but warm, under the morning light. It's been weeks since Clarissa's arrest, and today's hearing is about the will, the forged one she waved like a trophy. I sit in the front row, Maureen beside me, her hand brushing mine for strength. The judge, a woman with sharp eyes, listens as the prosecutor lays out the evidence. Dr. Patel's handwriting analysis, the storage locker photos, the folder of Clarissa's handwriting practice. My photos, snapped in that dusty facility, are projected on a screen. Daniel's real will glowing beside the fake. I swallow hard, seeing his loopy signature, the one Clarissa couldn't mimic. Clarissa's there, in a gray jumpsuit, her blonde hair dull, her face stripped of its smug polish. She doesn't look at me, her eyes fixed on the floor as her lawyer argues weakly about misunderstandings. But the evidence is a wall she can't climb. The judge's voice cuts through. The document presented by Clarissa Vaughn is a clear forgery. It is voided. The original will, filed 3 years prior, stands. A murmur ripples through the room. I exhale, my chest loosening. The original will, Daniel's real wishes, leaves me his estate, the childhood home, the lake house, his savings. Not because I wanted it, but because he trusted me to carry his legacy. Clarissa's head snaps up, her lips parting, but she says nothing. The judge adds, Ms. Vaughn remains under investigation for fraud and related charges. And I feel Maureen's hand tighten on mine. Fraud's just the start. Murder charges are looming, and I hope they stick. Outside, the November air is crisp, and Maureen pulls me into a hug. You got it back, she says, her voice thick. His home, his memory. I didn't want the money, I say, my eyes stinging. I wanted him. She nods, her own grief mirroring mine. We keep fighting, for them. At home, I walk through my quiet house, the weight of the court's ruling settling in. The lake house, the childhood home, they're mine again. But they feel empty without Daniel's laugh. I pull out his journal, recovered from the police, after they raided Clarissa's locker. Its leather cover is worn, the pages filled with his messy scrawl. Dreams, fears, notes about fixing the dock. I carry it to the study in our old house, where Clarissa had packed his life away. The drawer, once empty, welcomes it back. I slide it in, my fingers lingering, and whisper, "You're home, Dan." The estate's paperwork arrives days later, a thick stack I barely glance at. Daniel cared about people, not things. He volunteered at a local shelter, donated to a youth music program. I call my lawyer, a new one untainted by Grayson's shadow, and arrange to give half the estate to those causes. The shelter gets enough to expand. The music program can buy instruments for kids Daniel would have loved. Clarissa's trial for fraud is set for spring, with murder investigations ongoing. Maureen keeps me updated, her contacts tracking every move. The podcast, Family Secrets Exposed, releases a follow-up, detailing the court's ruling and Grayson's fall. Listeners flood my inbox with support, calling me brave, a fighter. I don't feel brave, just stubborn, driven by Daniel's voice, his warning. I don't trust her anymore. Ellen stops by, her eyes soft. "You've done him proud," she says, handing me a casserole. "The whole town's talking about you." "They're talking about Clarissa," I correct, managing a smile. "I just wanted the truth." She pats my hand. "You got it. And more." The community's support is a lifeline. Neighbors drop off pies, church friends pray for me, strangers send letters, but it's the quiet moments that ground me. I sit on my porch, a mug of coffee warming my hands, and think of Daniel's journal, safe in its drawer. I think of Clarissa, her perfect tears undone, her lies exposed. I think of Maureen, fighting beside me, her brother's memory fueling her too. I didn't just fight for the inheritance. I fought for Daniel's truth, for the silence Clarissa tried to bury. She thought she could erase him, rewrite his life with a forged signature and a push down the stairs. But I heard him, his recording, his heart, and I spoke louder than her deceit. The lake house waits, its dock still broken, but I'll fix it one day, for him. For now, I live with the peace of knowing I stopped her, that his legacy endures in the causes he loved, in the home we shared. As the sun sets, painting the Cleveland sky gold, I sip my coffee, the bitterness gone. Clarissa's in a cell, her future narrowing, while mine opens wide. I'm Joanna Ridgeway, and I've reclaimed my brother's story, not with vengeance, but with truth. And that, I think, is peace enough. What would you do if someone tried to erase your loved one's memory? If you made it this far, hit subscribe, drop a heart in the comments, and share this story if you believe justice always finds its way.